I have had occasion to have a conversation with Dr. Kaberuka on AU financing. I have had occasion to engage with Professor Mkoko on this reform process. And as I have said, I am very confident of what President Kagame and this team have achieved so far. What is remaining, in my estimation, is about 4 areas that I intend that we will, all of us, focus. Number 1 is the AU Commission. As Musa Fakis has said, there is need for greater internal efficiency and alignment so that we have a fit-for-purpose Africa Union Commission that delivers on its mandate without blockades, roadblocks, and unnecessary bureaucracy that is limiting its ability to deliver at the moment, and to align it with the other institutions so that we do not end up with a dysfunctional commission. There is need for us to have a conversation as member states. And there is need for us to agree that we need to give the Commission sufficient power, donate sufficient power and authority to the Commission to be able to act on our behalf. We cannot have an organization that we have appointed. We cannot have a commission that we have appointed, that we pay for, and we have denied them the authority to execute the mandate for which we have set it up to achieve. We must make up our minds that if we have set up this institution and we have given it a job to do, we must give it the power to do it. We must give it the authority to do it. Number 2 is that every institution must be held to account. And therefore, the accountability mechanism is also going to improve the quality of service that we will get from the Commission. As it is now, the Pan-African Parliament is an advisory organization, doesn't have authority to interrogate the budget, doesn't approve some of the appointments of the institution, does not participate meaningfully in the governance of our organization. And we need to interrogate whether the 275 members is not too big an organization for us to fund, and whether we should rationalize the size of the Pan-African Parliament and give it sufficient work and mandate and authority in line with the constitutive act of the Africa Union. Like all democratic institutions, for example, in Kenya today, there's a big debate in Parliament because it is our belief in institutions. We have an executive that proposes certain measures. The people and Parliament interrogate it, provides oversight. And we have a judicial system that also makes sure that if there are any issues, the judiciary can speak to those issues. So our Pan-African Parliament must take up a proper place in the governance of our institution so that we can guarantee ourselves that these institutions will work accountably. Listening to our chair and the obvious and sometimes, unavoidable conflicts between different institutions and even the overlap that is there. There is no mechanism that is in place to resolve some of these conflicts, some of the overlaps. And that is why it is absolutely necessary for us to finally establish the African Court of Justice. That way, if there is a conflict between the PRC and the Commission, the court should be able to resolve that and to provide guidance that in accordance with the Constitutive Act of the AU, this is where the mandate of the Commission ends, this is where the mandate of the PRC begins, and this is how it should go forward. At the moment, there is no mechanism. And all the time, it is then referred to heads of state. And it becomes very difficult because the heads of state are not a court. So these are some of the what is limiting our institution. And an Africa Commission, an AU that is not properly functional, undermines the potential of our continent and the opportunities therein. And so, finally, the fourth issue is how to finance our organization. And that needs to be a very candid conversation. I have had occasion to discuss with many of my colleagues on this subject, and everybody seems to agree that we need to take a firmer position in funding our organization and working with others so that we can achieve our aspirations.